the Hindu newspaper analysis dated 31st of August 2023. In today's newspaper discussion, we are going to cover these many topics that are listed in the screen now. So with this, let us start the discussion for the day. So this is the first topic that we are going to cover. It says, this particular topic says, okay, cross the boulders in the Indus Water Treaty. Okay, name of the topic is cross the boulders in the Indus Water Treaty. So this topic is one of the most important topic that we are going to discuss. So name of the topic is cross the boulders in the Indus Water Treaty. Okay, in the Indus Water Treaty. So we are going to understand about what is Indus Water Treaty. Okay, first of all, we will learn about what is Indus Water Treaty, like, so what is the purpose of this treaty, and then we are going to understand about what are the bottlenecks, right, in this treaty, and what are the disputes that are happening, and we are also going to discuss about the ongoing things related to this treaty. So the if we talk about this Indus Water Treaty, in short it is written as IWT. So this is a water sharing treaty, and this treaty was signed by India, Pakistan and World Bank. Okay, World Bank. So this particular treaty, I mean, this treaty is between India and Pakistan, and this World Bank acted as a mediator, right, so that this treaty could come into existence, right. So these are the two countries, right, who have signed this particular treaty. So what is the purpose of this particular treaty? The purpose is, okay, the purpose of this particular treaty is for, let's say, sharing of water, okay, sharing of of which rivers? Indus rivers, the rivers that originate from the Indus system. So there are 6 rivers in all, the 3 eastern rivers. Okay, so like if I talk about, India has exclusive rights on the water of 3 eastern rivers. Okay, 3 eastern rivers. And similarly Pakistan, right, Pakistan does have right on 3 western rivers. Okay, 3 western rivers. However, India is a upper riparian state. Okay, India is a upper riparian state. So India is upper riparian state. Okay, upper riparian state. It means all these 6 rivers, right, they flow through India to Pakistan. Okay, means so the 3 western rivers also, for these 3 western rivers, these rivers flow through India to Pakistan. The eastern rivers totally flow into India. Okay, so in this case, like, Pakistan will be the lower riparian state. Okay, it is the lower riparian state. Now let us understand about which are the rivers, right, which are the rivers that we are talking about, like on which river which country has the right. So for that, let us quickly see this particular image, right. Here, we have mention of some of the rivers, the 3 rivers, this Ravi, Bias and Satluj. Okay, Satluj. So these are the 3 rivers that are eastern flowing rivers, and on these 3 rivers, right, on these 3 rivers, India has the exclusive right, right, India has the exclusive right. And on the western flowing river, that includes the Indus River, Jhelum River and Chenab River. Okay, Indus, Jhelum and Chenab. So these 3 rivers flow from India, right, flow through India, from and through India to Pakistan. So the thing is, like, Indian government does have some authority on these rivers also. It can use the water of these rivers for some of the purposes, for example, purpose of drinking water, for the purpose of irrigation, for the purpose of, let's say, electricity generation, etc. Right? So India can use it. However, like, it has to let the river flow to Pakistan. So this is like, this particular treaty, which is known as Indus Water Treaty, talks about how the river waters will be used in the Indus river system. So 3 eastern rivers, India has the exclusive right. Western rivers, Pakistan has the exclusive right. However, India has also been given certain rights to use the water in the western rivers. Okay. So this is like, this is the treaty all about. And in this treaty, basically, in this treaty, I mean, like, the World Bank has mediated these 2 countries. However, recently the Pakistan government, they have moved the Permanent Court of Arbitration. Which court did they move? They moved to the Permanent Court of Arbitration. So this PCA, Permanent Court of Arbitration, is a court of arbitration like of international repute, of international stature. So this particular court is located at The Hague, okay, at The Hague, Netherlands, okay, it is located at The Hague. So the Permanent Court of Arbitration has given a ruling in favor of Pakistan, right? So it did not accept the objections of India, okay, it did not accept the objections of India. However, right, in this article they have talked about the dispute that is, let's say, arising because of the water sharing formula in the Indus River basin. And in this article they have said that, like, they have said that, like, more than court action, revisit the Indus Water Treaty. Okay, so, like, India is in favor of, let's say, negotiating with Pakistan so that we can resolve the disputes that are happening between India and Pakistan. And why Pakistan is disputing? Pakistan is disputing because of 2 run-of-the-river projects. One of the run-of-the-river project is known as Kishan Ganga project, and other is known as Ratel hydroelectric power plants. Okay, so these are 2 run-of-the-river projects. Okay, so this has been accepted by the this Permanent Court of Arbitration also. However, they have said, okay, and like India wanted that, like, there should be a like independent person who will, let's say, like, do arbitration in the case of dispute between these 2 countries, India and Pakistan. So the World Bank has appointed, okay, World Bank has appointed a neutral person, okay, to resolve the dispute. And the World Bank has appointed this particular person, I mean, like, Professor Murphy. He is, let's say, like the chair of Permanent Court of Arbitration. So that particular person is going to look into the issue of water sharing related thing. So in this article, they say that India and Pakistan have to recognize their common interest in the optimum development of the Indus River system. So the thing is, instead of going for endless disputes, right, these 2 countries should look forward for identify the common purposes, common, let's say, like interest, and they should work together so that, like, both the countries can reap the benefit of the river water that is originating from the Indus river system, right? So Indus, Jhelum, Chenab, I mean, like, it flows through India to Pakistan, and B, Satluj and Ravi, these are the rivers that are totally lying towards India. So this is the thing. Now the next article is related to like, how do we regulate the artificial intelligence? So this topic is important for GS paper 3. So in this article they have mentioned the need for an Indian system to regulate artificial intelligence. Okay, in this article they have mentioned that, like, we need an Indian system, right, to regulate artificial intelligence. So what is the name of the topic? Let us quickly write the name of the topic. It says the need for an Indian system. The need for an Indian system. The need for an Indian system to regulate AI. Okay. So this is the thing. In this article, the author has highlighted that artificial intelligence is going to stay with us because, like, it has proved itself that it is going to help the human being in achieving some targets of automation, right? So that's the thing. So first of all, in this article, they say that, like, artificial intelligence is going to stay with us. It is going to stay with us. So what is the need of the hour? Need of the hour is regulation of the artificial intelligence. Why regulation? Because along with the positive thing that artificial intelligence can do, right, it can also do many negative things also. What are the negative things that it can do? It can be used for spreading fake information, right, for spreading fake information. Deep fake videos, okay, deep fake videos can be made, right? Deep fake videos can be made using AI. Apart from this, right, it can be used for, let's say, like, it can be used as a cyber security threat, okay? It can pose cyber security threats also. That's the thing. So that's why we need regulation of artificial intelligence. However, how do we regulate? For regulating the artificial intelligence, the author says that there are two systems of regulation. One of the system of regulation is Eastern system of regulation. Other is Western system of regulation. Okay, Western system of regulation. So what do we mean by Western system of regulation? Western system of regulation is related with, okay, it is related with how the Western countries like European Union, the United States of America, Canada, okay, the countries like this, how they regulate, right, Canada, etc., how they regulate their artificial intelligence, right, like development, is known as Western system of regulation. If I talk about Eastern system of regulation, the system of regulation that is followed by China, that is followed by Japan, that is followed by India, means like these countries which are located in the Eastern hemisphere, right? So they follow different, let's say, system of regulation. The Western system of regulation is led by Western form of jurisprudence, okay, Western form of jurisprudence, okay, the Western form of jurisprudence. And Western form of jurisprudence says, like, what is to be done. It says like what is to be done. So they believe in, like, guiding what needs to be done. In the Eastern system of regulation, there is, like, they talk about what is the end result. They discuss about what is the end result, and followed by morality, okay, end result followed by morality, means like, you need to achieve this particular end and you need to have some moral characteristics. So like, this is Eastern system of regulation. So the thing is, the author is saying that the citizens in the Western countries, right, those citizens are, let's say, accustomed. They follow the rules and regulations in a much better manner as compared to people in the eastern part of the world. So they say, like, we need our own system of regulation. And if I talk about the Western system of regulation, so they regulate the artificial intelligence by following, right, by following some kind of threat models, okay. So let me talk about the Western system of regulation, Western system of regulation of AI, okay, regulation of artificial intelligence. So the Western system of regulation follows a threat model, okay. What? Threat model. So let's discuss about what is this threat model, okay. So in the threat model, they create a pyramid, okay, they create a pyramid, and that pyramid has, let's say, various structures. So the topmost structure of the pyramid, right, it talks about, let's say, unacceptable risks, okay, this talks about unacceptable risks. Then the second level of pyramid talks about very high risk, okay, it talks about high risk. Then third talks about limited risk and low risk, okay. So the first one was unacceptable risk, okay, then second is high risk, then third level of risk is known as limited risk and low risk, okay, limited risk and low risk. So the Western form of regulation of artificial intelligence is based on threat model. Threat model means like they first analyze like what can be the threat of different types of applications that are built using artificial intelligence. Those threats that are unacceptable, that pose unacceptable risks. So like, they will not allow these particular apps to be developed. Okay, they will not allow these apps to be developed. And those apps that pose very high risk. So here, like, there will be very high amount of regulation. Okay, there will be very high amount of regulation. And those that possess limited risk, I mean, like, there will be regulation for it, and these things will be used, will be allowed to be used. And for it, like, so this will be allowed to be used, I mean, like, easily. Okay, so they follow a threat model. However, the author says that this threat model may not be workable in India. They may not be workable in the eastern part of the world. And they say the countries that have already initiated, right, the countries that have already initiated, let's say, regulation for artificial intelligence, these countries are European Union, the Canada, etc. Okay, so European Union has come up with their own system of regulation. And then Canada, like, they have also come up with this. However, we cannot replicate it this way. Okay, we cannot replicate it this way. Okay, so European Union has come up with its own regulation. And the thing is, the author says so far the Niti Aayog, okay, the Niti Aayog has come up with 3 different documents. Okay, Niti Aayog has come up with 3 different documents. They talk about how do we regulate, okay, how do we regulate AI, okay, how do we regulate artificial intelligence. However, the author says that, like, in its report, they refer to, okay, they mostly refer to the regulations that are made in the western part of the world. Like, they refer to AI regulation of European Union, AI regulation by Canada, etc. Okay, so the author says we need to Indianize this particular system. And how can we Indianize? The author says that, like, in contrast to this, there are countries, for example, China. Okay, so author says that, like, for us, we need to follow the Eastern model of regulation. And that Eastern model of regulation is spearheaded by countries like Japan and China. So the author says that, like, Japan has already come up with its own form of, let's say, artificial intelligence regulation. China has also come up with this. We need to learn from them, because the Chinese system that they have followed, it matches with the requirement of India. So we have a lot to learn from the AI regulation from Japan and China. So they are located in the eastern part of the world. So this is what the author says. And the author has also talked about one, let's say, like, principle that was released by Japan, which is Japanese government's Integrated Innovation Strategy Promotion Council has framed a set of rules, okay, and they call social principles of human-centric AI. Okay, so Japan, Japan, one of the organization of Japan, has framed certain set of rules. These are known as social principles of social principles of human. Okay, so in the document they have repeated the human name 2 times. You need to check it, right? So human, it should be human-centric AI. However, like in the document, they have mentioned human-centric AI. Okay, human-centric artificial intelligence. So they have come up with social principles. Okay, so this Japan has come up with this thing. So the author says we can learn from Japan also in this regard. Okay, that's the thing. So this article talks about that the Oriental and Occidental approaches to legal regulation are fundamentally different, and India must look east. Okay, so author says that the way that the Oriental means eastern part of the world regulates AI is fundamentally different from the Occidental means the western part of the world. So, and India needs to follow the eastern model. Okay, India needs to follow the eastern model of regulation. So with this, like, we have a question for you. It says, with reference to the generative artificial intelligence, consider the following statements. One of the statements says AI impacts the employment levels in software and business process, processing services. This is right. Second, AI provides a tool for less proficient workers to narrow the gap with more abled ones. This is also right. AI can mitigate the effects of hacking, fake news, and deep fakes. Basically, AI, instead of mitigating, they actually increase the risk of hacking, fake news, and deep fakes, etc. So how many of the above statements are correct? Only 2. So B will be the right answer in our case. Okay, B will be the right answer. So with this, let us move to the next topic quickly. Now, we are going to understand about this topic. This topic is important from the point of view of social justice and Indian society. It says controlling women's sexual autonomy. Okay, controlling women's sexual autonomy. So in this article, the author has referred to, right? Author has referred to Bharatiya Nyaya Sahita. Okay, so this is, let's talk about the third topic quickly. Controlling women's sexual autonomy. This is the name of the topic. Controlling women's sexual autonomy. So what is the context of this article? Why this article has been written by the author? The article has been written by the author because of 3 criminal bills that have been, let's say, introduced in the parliament by the government. One of that bill is known as Bharatiya Nyaya Sahita. Okay, one of the bill is known as Bharatiya Nyaya Sahita. (2023). So this Bharatiya Nyaya Sahita 2023 is, let's say, a bill that seeks to replace the Indian Penal Code. It seeks to replace the Indian Penal Code. Okay, it is still in bill format. Okay, it is still in bill format. It has not been passed through the parliament. And the author is talking about section 69. Okay, author is talking about section 69 of the Bharatiya Nyaya Sahita, BNS. Okay, section 69 of the Bharatiya Nyaya Sahita. So what is section 69 of the Bharatiya Nyaya Sahita? The author says that section 69 of Bharatiya Nyaya Sahita talks about, right, criminalizes. What it does, it criminalizes the actions where a male partner, right, involves in consensual sex. Okay, involves in consensual sex with a female partner, right, with a female partner on the pretext of, on the promise of, okay, on the promise of marriage. Okay, on the promise of marriage. And however, if that person do not marry this person, in that case the male partner will be tried, right, will be tried. And similar to section 375, I guess. Okay, similar to section 375 or 375 IPC. So this particular person may be tried under the offense of rape. Okay, this is the thing. So the author is saying that it is not only criminalizing the male partner, but also it is, let's say, questioning the bodily autonomy. Okay, bodily, or let's say women's sexual autonomy. Because the thing is, in most of the cases, the author says that it is not the female who registers a case against the male. It is the family members of the female who register the case against the male. And there are multiple cases where, let's say, a male, runs away with the female. In that case, the family member files cases against the male, and that male, he keeps on trying to come out of jail. So in many cases they languish in the jails and all. So they, in this article, the author says that this particular provision may be misused. Okay, may be misused. And the author says this is not right. And the author has cited many such examples. One of the examples, the author says that since a woman's consent to sex is based on a man delivering a future promise to marry her, The breaking of such promise culminates into a rape trial. Okay, so this is the thing. And in this article, the author has talked about, let's say, many Supreme Court judgments also in this regard. So one of the Supreme Court judgment is in Dilip Singh versus State of Bihar. Okay, so I'm going to write about some of the Supreme Court judgments. Okay, some of the Supreme Court judgments. You can remember this. Okay, so one of the Supreme Court judgment is in the Dilip Singh. Okay, Dilip Singh versus State of Bihar. Okay, versus State of Bihar. So this is a case of 2004. In this case, the Supreme Court of India has said, in this case, the Supreme Court of India has said, a man cannot be convicted for rape if promise to marry has been broken because of his parents were opposed to the wedlock. Okay, so means, like, you know, the man cannot be tried if let's say, like, you know, if his parents have opposed to the wedlock, if his parents are opposing to the wedlock. This is the thing. And then there is another case, Uday versus State of Karnataka. Okay, second is Uday versus State of Karnataka. This case is also noteworthy. Why the author is citing these cases? Because author wants to make a point that this particular section is not worthy having in the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita. Okay, author wants to say this thing. So that's why the author is citing these judgments. One of the judgment is Dilip Singh versus State of Bihar. Other is Uday versus State of Karnataka. So let us understand what the Supreme Court has said. So Supreme Court of India has said the implicit, in this case, the Supreme Court says, if a woman has sex with a man from another caste based on a promise to marry, while she is aware that marriage was never possible, this means that there was consent to sex irrespective of the promise of marriage. Okay, so this is the other case. So these are the cases that the author has mentioned. So author says finally that the clause 69 of the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita has little to do with punishing sexual violence against women. Instead, it aims at regulating socially prohibited sex. Okay, so it aims at regulating the socially prohibited sex. This is the thing. This is the point that the author wants to make. Okay, so it is going to let's say, like, you know, bring down. It is going to bring down the socially prohibited sex in this case. So this is a topic related to Indian society or social justice. You can read about it. So with this, like, we came to another topic. It says understanding curbs on rice exports. Okay, understanding curbs on rice exports. So let's understand about this topic quickly. Understanding curbs on rice exports. So basically, like, recently this like, you know, the government of India has taken a decision. Okay, government of India has taken a decision, and in that decision government has what? They have banned. Okay, they have banned export of basmati rice. Okay, export of basmati rice in one case, and in other case they have applied 20% export cess. Okay, they have applied 20% export cess. So this is the thing. This is they have done. So why did the government do so? The government did so to protect the domestic market. Okay, to protect the domestic market. Why to protect the domestic market? Because, like, you know, now there was a case that the prices of rice in the domestic market, the price may go up. Okay, price may go up. If the price is going up, so it's going to raise question on food security. Okay, it's going to raise question on food security. However, in the international market, so in the international market, if we promote rice. If we, let's say, export rice, we are going to make profit out of it. Okay. However, government of India has made it less, let's say, so that, like, you know, people export more, lesser rice, and they sell it into the market. And along with this, what the government of India has done, they have also increased the minimum support price. Okay, they have increased the minimum support price of basmati rice. And basmati rice has various variants. One of the basmati rice is known as whole grain basmati rice. Okay, so let's say this is the whole grain. Other is, let's say, broken basmati rice, means like this basmati rice, it can be broken into various parts. So this one is whole grain basmati rice. Okay, other is, let's say, broken basmati rice. So government of India has taken decision just to, let's say, like, you know, reduce the exports, and this has been taken in the interest, this decision has been taken in the interest of protecting the domestic market and also to uphold the food security related issues. Okay, so here the government of India tried to balance the need of food security, okay, food security vis-a-vis, okay, vis-a-vis economy, okay, vis-a-vis economy. This is the thing. Both are important, both are complementary to one another. However, the government of India has given more importance to food security. So that's why they have banned, okay, they have banned one variety of basmati rice from export, and for other variety, the government of India has applied some kind of export cess. I mean, like, you know, they have applied some taxes on export. Okay. So in this article, they say that the Indian government has prohibited the export of white rice and levied 20% export duty on parboiled rice till October 15, and permitted the export of basmati rice for contacts with value of $1,200 a ton or above. Okay, so this is the thing. This is the like, you know, step that the government of India has taken. So this is just an ongoing thing. With this, like, we came to another topic. It says, what are the changes to the process for sale of SIM cards? Okay, this topic is again important. Okay, we are going to understand about this topic. It says, what are the challenges to the process for sale of SIM cards? What are the challenges to the process for sale of SIM card? So to understand this particular topic, we need to understand that SIM cards are those cards that we use in our mobile phones, right? Using SIM cards, like, you know, we receive internet on the mobile phone. We can make calls, we can send, let's say, messages, right? We get internet to, let's say, like, you know, do net surfing, etc. So recently the government of India has come up with some changes into the process of selling of SIM cards. Not only it is you know, related with selling of SIM cards, there are many other things. Basically, like what used to happen earlier, right? What used to happen earlier, that, like, you know, there is one person, this one person, what he has done, let's say he has purchased a SIM card, right? After so for purchasing a SIM card, he has given his Aadhaar number, right? And the same person can purchase multiple SIM cards. He can purchase multiple SIM cards. Let's say, like, one or two of his SIM cards are functional, others are not functional. Okay, so, like, still this person has many SIM cards registered in his name. So government of India has made a portal related to this. Okay, made a portal related to this. This is known as Sanchar Sathi. Okay, name of the portal is Sanchar Sathi. Government of India made a portal which is known as Sanchar Sathi. So what is the work of this particular portal, Sanchar Sathi? Here you and me as a citizen, right, we can go to this particular portal. We can check how many SIM cards are registered in our name. We can block some of the SIM cards if we find that we are not using them. We can also block, let's say, mobile phones if, let's say, we lost our mobile phone, etc. So the thing is here, the individuals will be able to check, right, in how many devices their SIM cards have been used and all. So related to SIM cards, these information can be availed from the Sanchar Sathi. Apart from this, apart from the individual thing, there is another category, which is there were some companies, right, who were using bulk SIM cards, okay, who were purchasing bulk SIM cards. So related to bulk SIM card, there was a problem, okay. Let's say there was an entity, okay, entity 1, first entity. Let's say it has purchased 1,000 SIM cards in one go, okay, thousands of SIM cards it has purchased. And these SIM cards, what it does, it uses these SIM cards for making fraudulent calls, okay, through its agents. Let's say it's a call center. So they make fraudulent calls to consumers, okay, they make fraudulent calls. So using these fraudulent calls, what they do, they one case is they do financial fraud, they do other kind of fraud. So the government of India wants to bring changes into the way how bulk SIM cards are being procured by different entities, by different companies. And how the government of India is going to do it? For this, government of India has talked about that operators, okay, operators. Who are operators? Operators means the companies, for example, Airtel, okay, companies like Airtel, Jio, etc. There can be many companies. So these are operators. These operators are licensed, okay, these operators are licensed by the government of India, okay, by the government of India. Means like we have Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, okay, so we have MITI, so they are licensed by the government. So the government has mandated that those people who are purchasing bulk SIM card, so they need to let's say they need to register themselves. Not only they need to register, they also need to register all the individuals who are going to use each of these SIM cards, okay, who are going to use each of these SIM cards. And the government of India has, let's say, named these people also. They are known as point of sale, okay. So related to bulk SIM card, what was the issue? That anyone, okay, anyone, let's say someone having a shop, okay, someone having a shop, he used to sell bulk SIM card to a lot of people. So these point of sale, they will also be registered, okay, they will be also registered. And recently government of India has conducted many surveys, many reports, and there they have identified around 1,700 companies on which more than 300 FIRs are already registered. And these companies are actually, let's say, were actually involved in doing financial fraud and all. So by bringing these regulations, what they are doing, they are, let's say, making the thing less, let's say, less easily available for people, so that there cannot be any tampering with the way that SIM cards are being accessed by people. So they have also talked that anyone who wants to purchase a SIM card, they need to register themselves, and for registration there will be biometric authentication, okay, there will be biometric authentication. So this will be second type biometric authentication, and those people who have already acquired SIM cards, so they are given some time that within this time frame you need to comply with the registration process. If registration process is not complied with, in that case those people may be, right, their SIM cards may be cancelled, okay. So this is the thing. So with this, let us talk about another topic quickly. Now this topic says, in India 74% cannot afford a healthy diet, UN agency report. This topic is very, very important, okay. Here, although it is a sad thing to know, here they talk about one report which is known as State of Food Security and Nutrition in the World. This report, and this report is published by the World Food, by the Food and Agricultural Organization, State of Food Security and Nutrition in the World, okay. So I'm going to write the name of this particular report, okay, report. This report was released by which organization? FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization, What is the name of the report? Name of the report is State of Food Security and Nutrition in the World. State of Food Security and Nutrition in the World. Okay, so this report has been published by the Food and Agriculture Organization. According to this particular report, they say that 74% of India, means almost 3/4, okay, almost 3/4 of India's population, they cannot afford a healthy diet. And they also compare India with many other countries, many other BRICS countries. So they say that, like, among all BRICS countries, including the 6 new entrants also. Earlier BRICS had 5 countries, now 6 new countries have joined. Among all these countries, the price of food was much lower in India, right, as compared to all those countries. Still, 74%, 74.1% of the people cannot afford a healthy food in India. So this is the state of affairs in India. Okay, so here they have given multiple, let's say, tables, and here they talk about the they have given multiple charts. One of the charts says the chart shows the cost of healthy diet in terms of PPP dollar per person per day in 2021. So according to this, like, the cost of healthy diet in terms of PPP was lowest in India. Okay, it was lowest, but still they say that, like, in the second chart they say that, like, it shows the share of population that is unable to afford a healthy diet in 2021. So in India it is 74.1%. The red one here you can see, it is 74.1% people cannot afford a healthy diet. So from this article, what we need to remember is the name of the report, State of Food Security and Nutrition in the World. It is released by Food and Agriculture Organization. Okay, United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization. So with this, we will move to the next topic quickly. Now this topic is again important. In this topic, we are going to understand about Aditya L1 mission. It says smooth operation of LAM critical to Aditya L1 success. So let's discuss about this thing. So I'm just going to write the name of the topic as Aditya L1. So Aditya L1 is a solar mission. Okay, it is a solar mission. Means we are going to study the sun. Okay, we are going to study the sun using this mission, right? So Aditya L1 will be launched by ISRO in September itself. It is going to launch. It will be launched by ISRO in September. So this Aditya L1, okay. So like here we need to understand few concepts. We will understand concepts related to concepts related to what is L1. We will understand about what are payloads. We will understand, like, what will be the lifetime, right? What will be the lifetime of this particular mission. We will understand how far is this point located. So first of all, let's say this is sun, let's say this is earth. Okay, so this is earth, this is sun. So between earth and sun there will be a point which is known as L1 point. This will be L1 point. So what we are going to do, we are going to launch Aditya L1 and we want to make this particular Aditya L1 to reach at L1 point. So L1 point is known as Lagrange point. Okay, it is known as Lagrange point 1. Okay, it is known as Lagrange point 1. So what are Lagrange points? Lagrange points are those points in this space, right? In this space where if you bring any third body, let's say like here we are sending L1, Aditya L1 spacecraft. If you bring this body it is going to experience zero gravity. It is not going to experience any gravitational pull from sun or from earth. Okay, so the thing is like gravitational force from both these bodies will be balanced out. So this body will be in a state of equilibrium. Okay, it will be in a state of equilibrium, means to keep this body stationed here, right, stationed here, you do not need any fuel, you do not need any kind of, what we say, any kind of motors to keep this particular body intact over here. This is the thing. So between two such bodies like earth sun system, how many Lagrange points can we have? We can have 3 Lagrange points, 5 Lagrange point. So this Lagrange point is L1, this is L2, then there will be a Lagrange point beyond sun which is known as L3, then there will be a Lagrange point which will be here L4, other Lagrange point will be here L5. Okay, it will be L5. Now, why we are keeping this particular Aditya L1 in L1 point here? Because from L1 it will have direct visibility of sun. Okay, it will have direct visibility of the sun. Okay, direct visibility means irrespective of the revolution of the earth around the sun, this Aditya L1 is going to experience, it is not going to experience any kind of solar eclipses, any kind of eclipses it is not going to experience. Why we are not stationing in L2? Because if we station in L2, so like we could study the let's say moon, or we could study the outer space, but like we want to study the sun, so this will be the nearest point. So that's why we have kept this here at L1 point. Okay, L1 point. So in this article they have talked about a motor which is known as LAM. Okay, LAM means liquid apogee motor. Okay, so in this article they have talked about a motor which is known as LAM. Okay, which stands for liquid apogee motor. Okay, so what we are going to do, once we launch the satellite, right, once we launch the satellite to let's say like send the satellite out of the gravitational field of earth, we need to keep the motor which is LAM, right, turned on. Once it has crossed, right, it will take around 4 months. Okay, it will take around 4 months to reach the L1 point. So just before reaching the L1 point, we need to turn on this motor, means like just after launching, right, so like this motor is going to help in maneuvering, right, in changing the path. Just after launching, right, we are going to turn it on, and after then we are going to turn it off for a long period for about 4 months. Then before reaching here we need to turn it on again, right, so it needs to be turned on again, so that like we can do some kind of maneuvers to place it exactly in this particular location. And this distance, L1 distance from the surface of the earth is about 1.5 million kilometers. Okay, 1.5 million kilometers or billion miles. Okay, you need to see I have written 1.5 million kilometers, so it is going to take this. So what is the lifetime of this particular mission? It is 5 years. Okay, lifetime of this mission will be 5 years. That's the thing. So along with this we have another topic. It says coronagraph of Aditya L1 will send these many images of the sun per day. Okay, 1440 images are going to be sent by coronagraph per day, right, by the coronagraph. So what is coronagraph? It is a payload. Payload means an instrument that will be installed in the Aditya L1 satellite system here. Okay, so these are list of payloads. Okay, these are list of payloads. For example, one of the payload is visible emission line coronagraph. Other payload is solar ultraviolet imaging telescope. Then we have solar low energy X-ray spectrometer. Then high energy L1 orbiting X-ray spectrometer. So these are, let's say, remote sensing payloads. And these, so 4 will be remote sensing payloads, and 3 of the payloads, they will be in situ payloads, means like they are going to analyze the data that are going to captured by these things. So here they are going to analyze the data. This is known as Aditya Solar Wind Particle Experiment, Plasma Analyzer Package for Aditya, and we have advanced triaxial high resolution digital magnetometers. So these are, let's say, payloads. Payloads means scientific instruments that will be part of the Aditya L1 mission. Okay, so these instruments, all of these instruments have their own, let's say, working. So they have certain capability. They are listed over here. In your free time, you can, let's say, write about them. So that will be helpful for you to solve a question related to prelims exam. So here, this is known as Aditya parking spot, means this is known as halo orbit. So it will be parked over here. Okay, so like, you know, these are the 5 points. This is L1 point, L2 point, L3 point, L4 point, L5 point. So these are the Lagrange points. Okay, so along with this, here I have, let's say, like included a diagram. You can go through this diagram in your free time to understand about where is L1 located. Okay, so this showcases L1, and apart from this, it showcases the Aditya L1 mission, right, from where it will be launched. It will be launched from Satish Dhawan Space Center located in Sriharikota. Okay, that's the thing. Now we have another topic. This topic says Karnataka starts releasing water on Kaveri Water Management Authority direction. Okay, so there is a river Kaveri that originates from Karnataka. Karnataka is the upper riparian state, and after originating from here, okay, so let's say this river originates somewhere here. Okay, after originating from here, what happens? It flows through Karnataka to Tamil Nadu, and finally it, let's say, drains into Bay of Bengal. So the thing is, like, this river, I mean, like, you know, used to give lot of water. However, because of lesser rainfall, because of lesser monsoon, this year they have received lesser rainfall. So now they have like, you know, lesser water in the river. So Karnataka was reluctant in sharing the water with Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu has approached the Supreme Court of India to seek direction for Karnataka so that, like, it starts releasing water. And for resolution of the dispute related to like, you know, interstate water, river water dispute. So the thing is, like, there is a authority that is made, which is known as Kaveri Water Management Authority. This Kaveri Water Management Authority has also directed the government of Karnataka to release water. However, Supreme Court of India has directed Kaveri Water Management Authority to oversee the release of water and report the Supreme Court of India by 1st of September. So now the thing is, like, here this interstate river water related things are mentioned in the Constitution of India, also in Article 262 of the Constitution of India. They talk about how the let's say, interstate river water disputes will be resolved, right? Will there be any authority of the Supreme Court of India or not? Will there be any authority of the courts or not in this case? Okay, so this is the thing. I mean, like, you need to read this. So we have included a map also of this thing, and along with this, like, we have some other maps as well. This showcases the same thing, the Kaveri river water. Okay, Kaveri river. And here there is another connected article that was there in the editorial section of the newspaper. It says, share the distress, the plight of Karnataka